But of course, we will be getting into map number 2. This is Dust 2, 7.2 and below will start on that CT side. And Horus already going for a very fast play towards long.
Yeah, well, it is going to be Sliggy and Lusher just falling back. There's going to be Rybrak up first with the Glock in hand. And so far, I don't know if they're going to expect this play towards Kara. It's going to be Lazar not finding anything. Instantly taken out by the Glock of Pommers. And Sliggy falling as well. May is trying to see what he can do. Finds 2! Oh, actually, no, it was actually 1. His teammate chiming in. But a 3-on-3. Finally, the smoke comes out.
Yeah, that was good support there from 7.2 to hold the same angle, just that it didn't put too much pressure on Mace to hit those shots. But with the bomb being planted, now Surreal's going to spray into action alongside his teammate Mace. And it's the 1-on-3, Shaney taken out of the round. 7.2 and below will pick up the pistol on map number 2.
And there we go. A very nice start coming out from 7.2. And I liked that play towards long. We saw 2 players towards long, falling back. Surreal fell back. Lazar stayed towards the car area. But Horus, they get that opening advantage, and they don't smoke the cross. They're just running across. I don't see the game plan there. You have a smoke. Why aren't you using it?
Yeah, potentially an oversight. I think as well, if you're finding those opening picks, quite often I think some players don't smoke it just so that you can maybe capitalize further. 7.2 maybe expecting something to come out, and then you just catch them on the rotation. With that said, it definitely seemed a bit too late to really make that kind of a play work. They had gotten those picks and they weren't able to sort of get up fast enough. And although Horus are able to do quite a lot of damage in this round onto Lazar, it doesn't seem like there should be too many frags going their way. Finwee might be able to finish off this kill if he's lucky enough to find the right timing onto Lazar, who is going to just look for interruption. But Rybak's creeping out on long B, and Cryptix, he'll take down NBL, gets rid of the threat of Ryback, and now Finwee just with the Eagle in hand. Okay.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, like you said, okay.
Consolation kills, consolation kills. I think it's a little bit too hard for him to recover this round. If he does, I will more than happily eat something that I probably the piece of paper on stream.
Don't say it,
No,
you might have to do it.
I'll eat a piece of paper that says Finwee's the best. Thank God.
Never make a bet you can't do. Actually, no, because you probably could do that, but you just wouldn't want to.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you make sacrifices in your life.
That is true. 7.2 and below. I mean, is there anything behind that name? Do you know? Like, is there something in the UK scene of 7.2? Does that mean anything?
I am actually unsure.
We'll have to find out.
Yeah, not a clue. I wish I knew. I feel like that would add a little bit of a different element. It's kind of like the trivia of Mirage, but Lazar will try his best to find an opening with the Deagle. Mace able to have support, but Cryptix and Sliggy Sliggy gets dropped alongside Mace, and suddenly they have a pretty much full reign of this A bomb site. All 3 of the A side players were towards short, and they have been dealt with. So Horus are able to get a plant down with 4 players still up.
Yeah, perfect flashes coming out from the T side. Completely blinds them players, or at least half blinds them on short to find those opening engagements, and it leaves the 2 B players all by themselves. Surreal and Cryptix left, just opting to go for the save. Finally, we see a round on the board from Horus eSports, but look, we saw a nice round from them, but I feel like we need to see a little bit more if we even can say safely that it's going to be this game being contended, because what we saw in Mirage was pretty much a whitewash. Even though they got 7 rounds, it pretty much was. So, look, Horus, I feel like they're going to come into this with maybe a fresh start, because you did say, look, they are a 5. They weren't really playing as a 5. They took a lot of individual fights, didn't go their way at all. I feel like we're going to see a little bit of a different game plan going into Dust 2.
Yeah, of course, the second map, a great opportunity to kind of reset mentally, allow yourself that opportunity to plug up holes in your play style and how you want to approach the game. But we'll see if that adaptation does come out from Horus. Of course, it will be another buy coming out from 7.2 and below, and it will be Lazar on the AWP. He saved in the previous round, only on the Deagle last round, to pick up this weapon specifically. So yeah, it has to pay forward into this, because I think it may have cost him a potential bit of damage, or maybe even a kill or 2 in that previous round.
Well, we have seen so far a lot of utility expended on both sides. But it does look as if it could be a mid to B at this point. Sliggy is the mid holder. A little bit of a miss smoke coming out from the observer. But Sliggy needs to try and see if he can hold off these T's. And oh, what a great start coming out from NBL. Surreal, they might not check him in this position. Really off angle. I haven't seen this before. Lets the bomb run past first. Finds two. Surreal coming alive into this round and still holding off the presence. Not allowing the T's to get any more control. Surreal now coming in towards the B-bomb side. But it is going to be his teammate Cryptix to follow up. A 3-on-2. Shaney and Pomsey left. And a 2-on-3. They need to try and isolate these fights. But no. It's going to be Shaney once again. And I just... It seems like Shaney all the time is left to clutch. And he really stepped up in a big way on Mirage. And it seems like he's doing it time and time again. A 1v3 for Shaney. He does have the AWP into this and he takes it towards long. Now it's going to be interesting to see how Shaney decides to play this. He's got the Deagle in hand, low HP. But instantly taken out by Maze. So that's a 3-1 start from 7.2 and below.
So we'll have to see whether they can change some rounds together. I think if 7.2 and below get to say maybe 5 or 6 rounds, that's when you start to get a bit concerned if you're Horus, just because any mistake that you make gets them to pretty much securing a strong enough half to contend. It can be a bit lopsided as to whether a team is a CT-sided team or a T-sided team. It is pretty dependent. Obviously, if you're able to reset that CT economy a couple of times, you can really take control as a T side because you go uncontested in a lot of spots. But Luzza's here with the AWP.
Tries to find one. Spots out of a lot of information. So far a kill going in favor of the T's, but Cryptix on towards the B-bomb site once again. And he has to hold all by himself. It's going to be very difficult because he's going to be pincered in from all sides. Luzza to start things off with the AWP towards CT. That's a nice shot from Finwee. But Cryptix lining up one, tries to follow up with the second, but the T's have just completely slowed down. The HE going to do so much damage. Actually, not as much as expected, but he follows up again. Tries to go for more, but it's going to be Finwee to win that out. And realistically, he can actually get a bomb plan here if he times it right. As right now, Maze has just decided to play passive, and that's a bomb plan.
Yeah, it's a nice bit of cash going into this next round, but Finwee's going to try and convert to still have the Deagle in hand, able to reposition behind the box. Sliggy as he begins to make his way out. A couple of missed shots here from Finwee. Able to land it up eventually from Sliggy into the one-on-one. Mace playing around the box. He doesn't know whether to jump up or not. He's trying to track him down.
Oh
Finwee,
my gosh.
he wins the round, and that's an ult recovered as well.
Two very sharp shots. That was really well done. And I tell you what, Finwee, he missed a few at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I thought this is looking a little bit shaky, but comes out on top. Huge play from Finwee.
He wasn't sure where the magic bullets were stored in his clip, and he found them eventually.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of individual performances we were talking about on Mirage as well. Finwee has a huge round. That's 4 kills for him to get them that. But look at this from 7.2. They know they've given up the B-bomb site, but they've siphoned off Shaney from sort of meeting up with his teammates. I think, yeah, he must have heard. Okay. That's, okay. I thought Sliggy might have had him dead to rights, but, you know, he turns around, hits him with a quick one. And it seems like Shaney might just be given a shooting gallery here. They're going to start trying to encroach on his position. He's able to get only the 2 kills, but that's an AWP that can be now picked up once again. Cryptix already saving his AWP, but Ryback prevents Mace from going any further with that gun.
Well, if he can save an AWP, that will sure help 7.2 and below. They will be able to get a buy into the next, but I'll be interested to see how they decide to go it, or to at least go for it. What are we going to see from them? Cryptix able to save that AWP, and actually we might not see a buy. So it's going to be interesting because they have the AWP saved and they can possibly do a Deagle armor and completely force buy into it, but at the same time I don't even think that that's the right decision to make. But some teams just won a big round.
Yeah, that's a lot of shouting. Oh, there's a smooth thing. 7.2, they'll hold on to the 1 AWP for now, like you said, just kind of keeping their economy in check. They're only going to invest in a couple of pistols, but the Cryptix, he gets the first, and that's the AWP now identified for Horus. The question is, do they continue to chase this, or do they give it space? And it seems like Luzza's given himself a chance to... I think if he just creeps a little bit further forward, he gets it as well.
I don't think he realizes where it is. Oh, this is...
Uh-oh.
Oh, they've taken it away, I think. No AK for you. But Cryptix with another one. So far, a lot of damage being done towards this T side. But the only problem is, now that AWP is gone, 7.2 and below only have pistols to use. Surreal finally picked up an AK towards short. The Molotov on towards the site. And 7.2 and below really should save this AK into the next round. Jumping USP. Alright, let's see it.
I mean, if we see it quickly, that would be certainly something else. But Surreal's already making his way up short. Up through CT. He was trying to sort of reinforce Mason's position and allow him to escape, but he won't be allowed to do so. So Surreal, like you said, definitely the right decision here to save this AK. They don't have enough money to buy up into that next round. Saving that AWP coming into this one, you saw the impact Cryptix had with it. So they're hoping that maybe they can transfer that as well into Surreal's AK.
Well, what 7.2 and below can do in this next round is possibly not get a complete full buy-in. They actually might be able to get like an M4 armor and little utility, but what they could do is if they just forced up maybe a few pistols, no armor, a few pistols with that AK, go into the next, get a double AWP setup out. Could do something like that. They are able to get a buy into this, but yeah, like I said, it's going to be light utility if they don't go for that head armor.
So, coming into round number 8, Horus will once again have everybody equipped, but 7.2, they buy into it. They've got a couple of AUGs and 3 sets of rifles, but a fair amount of utility to make this work. They've got the kit available on Surreal as well. They can test for these sort of problematic areas, such as even the lower B tunnels. They can go up short, or they could take the long house altogether. But they've actually not gone for any of that. Instead, they're just going to go straight and play for the bomb site. Sliggy from elbow finds 2 as they cheat past the smoke. That's a bomb drop that's short as well.
And so far, Horus only down to 2. Cryptix in towards mid. Senses a bit of information. Flash coming in. Cryptix with another. And so far, Cryptix has been able to find a lot of kills in this game. Oh. That's a nice shot on Finwee. This is making it slightly interesting. There's a player towards mid and one towards long. So, for 7.2 and below, I'd like to see them regroup together rather than splitting up, especially when they've got this AWP to fight up against.
Yeah, they know he's on the AWP, and I think you're right. It's certainly the right play to make here, but I think Cryptix, his role primarily is just to keep him in position. Don't allow Finwee the option to even consider going back towards B, because that makes Surreal's spot just completely useless.
Decided to go with the AK. See if he can be a little bit more impactful with it, especially in a clutch scenario. 1v2, Surreal actually getting aggressive. So he needs to get the timing right, otherwise Finwee might actually be able to spot him. Because Finwee's going to track a ramp any second now, but it's going to be Surreal that gets the timing out first. 4-4, and 7.2 and below able to seal it up. And I tell you what, the economy from Horus is still looking pretty good.
Yeah, quite a couple of these players have quite a few residual amounts of cash, or quite a lot of residual cash available to drop their players over. But you see, it's a bit of a struggle for, I think, the likes of Pommy and MBL. They've been dying quite a lot, and they've had to consistently buy up for themselves. Horus already going for a very fast play towards long. They're going to be met by this could be a crucial position here. I mean, they've got a Molotov or a few Molotovs to maybe flush him out, but it's about whether Horus are drilled enough to have that be a part of their procedure for taking that long control.
Well, Surreal taken down to 6 HP early on in this 9th round. But it does look like Horus are going to either split towards mid or go towards short. A lot of control already gathered. So we do have another member as well. That's Shaney to the right of the pit. So this is actually a very good position that the T's have been able to put themselves into, Michael.
Yeah, Mace, he'll deploy the Molotov. He heard a little bit of aggression over towards short, so just trying to keep Horus back. They're going to try and fight for long control now. They're trying to get up close and personal to this player at long, and that's Shaney with the AWP. They could potentially overwhelm him. The smoke deployed, Mace holding things off on short. He gets to the third, not quite lined up. Sliggy is still toying with his food over at long. He eventually finds Shaney, drive back the last remaining, and just by the skin of his teeth runs away with that duel, but only for a moment.
Yeah, really nice hold coming out from 7.2 and below, and we can just see, I don't know, Horus, it just, even though the difference is only 1 round, I just feel that there's a big difference in game plan from 7.2 and below against Horus. It just seems that they're winning so many fights, and now we see fast presence towards B, and so far the holds towards B have been pretty good as well.
I don't think we've seen too much pressure applied by Horus here thus far, so we'll have to see how things stack up. Cryptix will deploy the grenade. Oh, I'm sure that hits somebody. It does quite a lot of damage to one of the players. I think actually may have just gone a bit too deep. They go for one in the bomb site. Surreal able to cover the cross for now. One does get by, and Surreal always getting spammed down, just able to get away. Just at the end, Lazza tries the exact same thing. Similar situation. He's down to low HP as well.
I can't believe Lazza just tried to go in there and find that kill, but Finwë, with the Tech 9 just sitting underneath the window, he could line up a few here, but no, it isn't going to go the way of the T's, and 7.2 and below get on top of the bomb, and 6-4. The B hit actually came out very strong for the T's. I mean, you look at Surreal, 14 HP, 6 on Lazza as well. That could have gone anyone's way, really. I mean, Horus, they made that slightly convincing, and I feel as if that was a little bit of an overextension from Lazza. The bomb's going down, it's just been planted, and yet he tries to get in aggressive. There's no flash, there's no teamwork support. I know what he's trying to do, but I feel like when you've got this advantageous position and you feel as if you're in the advantage, to go for a play like that, I feel is a little bit unnecessary.
Yeah, I sort of like the idea though. I mean, so I mean, it's just like Surreal tries to take the shots. He gets spammed down. Lazza's like, wait, let me try, and then he gets the same thing happen to him.
It's like, if you can do it, I can do it better.
Basically. Well, it is better for 7.2 is that they get the opening pick onto Finwë, and they have really struggled on both teams to find an opening pick kind of early on into the round. I'm interested to see how these teams adapt to that new dynamic. Lazza even finding an additional kill on towards short as Ryback went up by his lonesome.
So I just want to ask a quick question. This 7.2 and below roster, is any of the players out of the 5 on a team or playing together on a team?
No. Surreal's on a team.
And he's the only one on a team?
As far as I'm aware, yes.
Wow. And they're up against Horus eSports, which is a full 5.
Yes.
Well.
Welcome to Epicland.
Welcome to UKCS. The bomb planted towards B. Sliggy with the AWP. The flash coming in. And so far, Sliggy needed to hit that shot. Tries to follow up again, but I feel as if it should just be a save at this point for 7.2 as below. Is Sliggy the last one left? And he even looks like he wants a little bit of action, but he is going to fall back. Save the AWP into the next round. We'll still see a buy come out in the next round from 7.2 and below, because you look at Lazza, he's on almost 8k and 4.3k on Surreal as well. And Sliggy saves the AWP.
Yeah, that's something to bring forward for sure, especially because, like you said, there's a few.
Go back to observing.
I mean that looked like it was on from our delayed GoTV point of view. Obviously, our tick rate isn't quite as up high, so maybe there's a few lost frames. But it looked like it was pretty close. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt here, man.
Yeah, all right.
Listen, man, the server lagged, even though they're at LAN. Ping spike, my fault, whatever. 7.2, they're allowing Horus a little bit more space to bring things close, though. And so when they go for these initiative plays, there has to be some sort of a rhyme or a reason to it. And it seems like when they found that opening pick, they just can't seem to lock it down. MBL with a really swift headshot onto Lazza.
Yeah, what a shot. And look at this position from Surreal. Actually, Surreal and Cryptix, this could change the entire round. This position, oh my god, they're in lower tons at the moment. This is it. This round's over. This is 7.2 and below. Unless something happens, what a play. To get 2 CTs aggressive, lurking in the upper tons, making their way to lower tons.
Yeah.
What a play.
You see how much MBL has to do here as well.
Yeah.
He's going all the way through the upper tunnels just to clear it out. He's going to have to go through lower as well just to make sure that that's all clear. And then he can think about getting the bomb, in which case he has to clear all of middle, the double doors, and absolutely everything. And all with just the one smoke. So it doesn't seem all too likely that this round goes his way. But the silver lining for him, at least, is that these two players are giving him one-on-one fights.
Cryptix actually might. With that flash. Oh.
Did he spot him?
I don't think he did.
Yeah, he's not reacting like he spotted him.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He definitely didn't spot him there. Timings must have worked out perfectly, because he would have been able to spot him.
Just by the little mushroom on his head.
But MBL can't find anything. Cryptix with a nice kill, and a 7th round for the CTs. This is looking very swift. What, am I reading this right? 17-5 for Cryptix.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a game. What a gamer.
See, this is the thing with custom HUDs. I love them, but I also I sort of enjoy that interaction where I have the option to pull up the scoreboard whenever. Because although the things are on the side, I'm just like not clued into it that much. I'm not like used to it. Horus, they'll try barreling on towards the speed bomb site. Cryptics will be there to meet them. Laza as well, missing the first shot, but they will be able to at least make up some ground. 7.2 are here in numbers to try and prevent the plant. They will get Molotov out of position, and that should allow Horus enough space to get this bomb planted.
Well, it is going to be Tommy to get the bomb down. Finway with the flash over the top. Tech 9s and pistols to use. But so far for Horus, it's going to be really difficult for them to try and hold on, especially with the buy that 7.2 have. Surreal, what? Just pushing through the smoke, has no idea what is going on, and these kills are actually going in favour of the T, so a very good hold. I mean, the B bomb site is one of the hardest bomb sites to retake, but I just thought with the weapon advantage and the utility that the CTs had, that it should have been a little bit more easier, but I feel like the smokes did so much work for the T.
Yeah, and partially it comes down to as well, Cryptics kind of lining up the first shot, unable to get any more as they sort of made their way through a smoke. He ran out of ammo in the end as well, so it became a bit awkward, but eventually the fact that 7.2 were there in numbers, it brought things a little bit more, a bit closer, but because Horus had utility to work with and they'd be given the bomb site for next to free, they trade 1 for 1, then it meant that 7.2 had no way back in. Like you said, it's a very hard bomb site to retake, so does seem like we had a small technical issue. A player did disconnect.
I would say that, and probably Inner on train. I feel like Inner's hard to take,
especially if they've. I think if you've pushed up, if they've pushed up oil. Yeah, I think that's probably.
Like if they've got full map control, it's like.
Oh yeah.
It's like impossible.
You don't even try.
You don't. Yeah, if they've got full control of Inner B, it's like nah.
Oh my God, Shaney hit the shot on the cross. Cryptics has been dropped without even having really a chance in the round.
And Fast B coming out from the CT, from the T's, my mistake. It's going to be Surreal not finding anything.
Oh my goodness.
He just got spammed. I don't even think he knew it was there.
No, yeah. I think he was trying to track down Surreal, and Laza suffered. So it's the 2 AWPs that were saved over from last round, and they are going to do the exact same thing again, because Horus have made their way onto that B-bomb site by a result of that first kill going the way of Shaney, as well as the fact that it seemed like 7.2 weren't too concerned about a B rush. They were sort of hovering over like, oh, I think Cryptics had a smoke, so he goes back to recover the smoke, and then by the time he gets out, Horus are already there. So
if we could bring up the scoreboard for a minute, I feel as if that Horus has had a very big comeback into the game of like the last few rounds that they've been able to win in a row, or at least get that up any second.
Yeah, dang. We have a fill-in observer right now, so it's not his fault. It's the weird binds that our main observer does. Our main observer's feeling a bit sick, so he's having to fill in. So
we'll have to get Sliggy down if they get knocked out.
So yeah, I feel like that's okay.
Oh, I wish I saw that.
Yeah. Oh my, Surreal's got 2! How's he got 2? Horus.
We must have clicked mouse twice at least.
See, this is the problem with having a replacement observer. This is a huge issue for Horus. The bomb is dropped in suicide. Both these players nowhere near. Tommy will now go back, and that's really the problem. Because the bomb's dropped, Sliggy gets far on the rotation trying to catch him out. But he's now the last player alive. It's just Pommy in the 1 versus 4, and Sliggy, he has an AWP to work with.
Yeah, but is he going to hit? And no, he's not. I didn't want to say that he wasn't going to hit, but
yeah.
Yeah, Sliggy, I mean, he hasn't really shown up huge potential. I mean, I never saw Sliggy play when he was a pro, but from what I heard, he was really, really talented. So, look, he probably doesn't practice as much as he used to, especially being a full-time observer now.
Well, yeah, if you're traveling a lot, you quite often don't get the opportunities. Yeah. But
it's good to see that he's come down here and he's playing.
No, he's had respectable numbers. I think it's just it's just these small flashes where you're just like, if he played consistently, he'd probably hit that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, definitely. That's what I meant. Surreal, though, he's hit 2 with the scout in this round. And now it's all up to Poppy left.
Poppy? Pommy.
Pommy, yeah.
You said whatever.
Mate, we go back and I know what I said. Mate, you want to go back and listen to that? Be my guest.
All right.
I'll put you 5 on the table.
We'll calm it down. 8-7 as 7.2 and below currently have the advantage going into this half. It has been pretty back and forth. There've been a few strings of rounds like trios.
Yeah.
Listen, don't talk to me about my stutter.
Well, I was just gonna say, look, we can have a bet right now. You don't have to accept this, but if I did say it right, you have to say cache for the rest of your life.
Oh,
and
grim.
if you are right, then I'll shout you a beer.
No.
No. He doesn't want to take it. See, he's nervous now.
I mean, it's just like the options weren't very good.
The pistols coming out so far as Ryback does find the first. And 7.2 and below, they try and get control towards bedroom in the long area, but it doesn't really work out for them.
Yeah, Horus already pushed all the way through B as well. Shaney, as they begin to go for this B split, him holding on to tunnels is certainly good for them. Just it means that they have somewhere to fall back, but Pommy needs to hit these shots. As the more he waits, the longer this window flank is going to come through. Shaney from behind as well. Oh, okay. Okay, that's one way to lock down the B bomb site. Pommy hits the shots. As they go through the window, he hits the first one. Shaney chiming in as well. Nice little back and forth support play.
Textbook stuff. Very well done coming out from Horus. And one of the things that I really liked in that round is actually that Shaney decided to get aggressive in towards the B tunnels, although it didn't really work out in his favour. It's like, obviously, later on he went back towards the side. But even that confidence play to sort of say, look, there might not be a lurker. So, look, Horus, they need to surprise me, because at the moment, 7.2 and below are looking very strong on Dust 2. But now, 5 scouts, I've just what is that?
Surreal.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, Surreal finds that pick up to Ryback. Shaney there for the trade. And oh, Shaney, he's toying with him there. Laza, if he'd hit that shot, suddenly then the advantage is right back into 7.2 and below's favor. But because he's able to get away, okay, it's inside Cryptics to finish off the kill. So suddenly, at 7.2, they wanted to reback over all the way over to long. I'm struggling right now. But because they found that kill with the scout there, now they're going to go back B, and Pommy's actually put a stop to it. 7.2 are going back and forth. They're so indecisive right now, and it's cost them. MBL's pushed all the way through long A. He's now flanking and going through the lower tunnels. They're boxed in, and they've got 45 seconds, but oh, and they're going all the way. What is happening? Honestly, what are these rotations from 7.2? They've made so many snap decisions. Granted, the mid-round calling is certainly impressive, the fact that they're making these decisions as a team, and regardless of what the call is, they're going with it. But there's so much indecision here that I'd be very confused if you're a Horus. This position here from Finwee could be the icing on the cake for this round, because yeah, they're running out of time, they're not going to fully clear it, and Finwee gets both kills.
Finally, we see Horus in the lead, 9-8. And for 7.2 and below, because we saw them forced by 5 scouts in the last round, we are just going to see them upgrade a few pistols here and there, but other than that, it's not going to be much more of an investment. Deagles across the board and a P250. As they do look to try and get control towards mid. Finwee, actually towards mid-doors at the moment, could be isolated here by the pistols. We've seen how much work and how much damage these pistols have done in the past, but Finwee so far hasn't taken a tick of damage.
Yeah, just pistols in this round, so 7.2 won't be expecting too much from this. Obviously, if they could hit a few nice shots, maybe bring some weapons out of Horus's hands, then they would happily take that. But Ryback, once again, it's just it's aggressive plays coming out from Horus to capitalize and create some additional space for them to work with. And by process of elimination, they're going to be able to track down Cryptics. He does take down Finwee, so that is one weapon that they has to be reinvested. And Finwee is pretty low on his economy, so that certainly hurts him as an individual. But it doesn't seem like any more damage will be done. Horus get themselves up to double digits. They're now at 10 rounds. While 7.2 still a bit on the struggle bus. This will be the round where they can come back into things. Of course, the AWP onto Surreal. They've got a few nice spawns through the B tunnels as well, but they don't take. But it does seem like it may be a fast play over towards the long house very early on.
So far, it's going to be Laza, straight one out. And Surreal once again with this AWP. And Laza, tries to line a member up towards that CT cutoff, but isn't going to be able to do anything with that. Finwee actually with the AWP. Finwee, the position he's in at the moment, it's going to be a little bit difficult. And actually, the T's, they've complete long control, but they give up on it. That's interesting. That's really interesting to me.
Yeah, so the idea here is that Laza, because he's established...
What's the idea?
So the idea I thought was to leave Luzza in the pit so they can maybe lurk out, maybe they could split the bomb site. But with that said, they're now backing up and they're just taking long control. I think realizing that they don't really have too much information elsewhere on the map, they're just going to completely overwhelm Finwee. And Surreal hits him twice. So he hit him through the box first and he finishes off the kill. But the rotation's already here for Horus. They've taken far too long to get up onto the site that they're going to be here in heavy numbers. It's going to be a straight up brawl on this A site. Back and forth exchanges. MBL gets 2. Pommy as well emerges from the smoke. Surreal, the only man remaining, misses the shot on MBL, who sits on 2 HP. Oh, she spans the box. That's it. That's him. Done. But that will be a fantastic hold from MBL. He gets 3 kills as they commit up to the site.
Yeah, so far this is looking very strong coming out from Horus. As, I believe it's now 4 rounds in a row from them. And for the CTs, although they've been able to win a lot of rounds, the economy not that strong for them. So MBL is just sitting on $0 at the moment. There is a little bit of bank on Ryback and Pommy. But so far, it's just going to be pistols once again coming out from the T side. They get early control towards short, Michael.
This could go all 3 maps.
Could be.
Yeah, I think as well. 7.2 have the fact that they've had so much indecision in these rounds is not a good sign.
No.
Horus have been able to sort of lock them down and sort of funnel them where they'd like, just because they are playing aggressive when there is contact made elsewhere on the map, so that when 7.2 do decide to back themselves up and reconsider their approach, then Horus are there to deal with it.
Finwee with the AWP, trying to see if he can line up a few, but so far hasn't had the opportunity to fire as of yet, and now it's all down to Surreal, and he can't find anything either. 12-8, Horus. A really big turnaround from what we saw on Mirage, and look, you are right, 7.2 and below, they seem very indecisive of what they want to do. And at the same time, it seemed like it was all Shaney on Mirage, and at this point, he's the bottom fragger at the team. So a big turnaround from the individual players coming out from Horus.
Yeah, certainly playing a lot better as a unit. Horus, oh, that's not what you want to say if you're Ryback. He's not going to be contested at long, so it's ultimately of no consequence. 7.2 have instead decided to focus their attention elsewhere. The tunnel's control secured, they'll at least make their way up short as well. And the crucial point is probably on short. There's Finwee there with the AWPs waiting for this first player to go up. Surreal will flash over just to try and allow himself some space. Finwee missed the shot, but that is now short control established for 7.2, and this gives them some options. This is pretty much the standard round that you see on Dust 2 pretty consistently, just because it gives you the most amount of space to maybe do a fake over towards A. You can then go for a mid-B split off the back of that. You can even throw a mid-B smokes and then go straight up towards short and maybe split A. And it does seem like they're going to go for the mid-B split smoke, but actually not commit any of their players out. And so this might psych out Horus, because they haven't spotted anybody in the long tunnel, or in B tunnel, and there's nobody coming out the doors. So the rotation hasn't come through already, and Pommy gets Molotov out of position.
Well, it's now up to Shady with Jorg, and he tries to line up a few, but he only finds 1 in that engagement. Oh. But MBL finding 2, leaving it all up to Sliggy. The Observer for Face It. And a 1-on-2 clutch scenario. The flash coming in, and Finwee. How does that not blind him? That's what I want to know.
It's so far away, and it's on like a little, there's like a little bump.
Yeah, I suppose so.
It landed on the floor, and there's a little bump. So.
Well, I mean, I don't think it makes a difference of how far you are away from the flash, does it?
Yeah, it does.
It does?
Yeah. If your age is away from the flash, it doesn't do that much.
Really? I didn't know that. That's interesting. I thought the distance didn't matter. It was only positional.
No.
Really? I'm going to have to try that when I get home.
Yeah, if the flash is in your face, you are super blind.
Yeah.
If it is super far away, it does nothing.
What if it's in your face, still super far away?
How is that even possible?
Well, like, you're still looking at it.
I mean, if even... What are you even talking about? How can it be in your face and far away?
Because line of sight to your face.
How long is your face?
That's not where I was trying to go with it. But yeah, look. Obviously pretty long. 7.2 and below. We are having some... a player disconnect. So
yep.
I think, quickly to recap, Horus eSports, they have... that's a really big turnaround. And it is good to see because, look... What we saw from them in the first game was a little bit disappointing, to be honest. I was...
There was some... yeah.
Look, there were plays there.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. But all of the plays were individual. Now coming over to Dust 2, it seems like they're all working together that little bit more, and we could see the difference already.
Yeah. As a small correction, I think
Wow.
earlier I'd said Horus were a full team. I think as
Yeah.
far as I'm aware, Shaney may be so one of them's filling in. I think it's Shaney filling in for Zio,
Okay.
who couldn't attend the LAN or for various reasons.
I was gonna say that can't be right. Cyril's at like 150 ping. It's like this is land, boy.
Yeah, that has to be a mistake. There's likely something happening with the network that's going to be fixed.
We'll get a fix.
If they're on 150 ping, they may as well be playing in US servers because that's about what you get from the UK at least.
Is that right?
Like central servers.
I've never done that. And so have you queued a game with US servers?
Yeah, usually East Coast. East Coast is like 90 ping, which isn't too bad, but it's also not great. So especially when you're used to playing like EU servers where it's like anywhere between 9 and 20, like 15 ping.
So the greatest thing about Face It is when you like ban out the servers and you get UK, you get like 0 ping. Well, maybe not 0, but you get low ping.
Yeah,
that's like the dream.
It is. And then you get wide swung by some guy with like 120 ping, and then you're just sad.
Yeah. You just get like wide swung by someone that all they do is like play like 10 pugs a day, and you're like, why am I playing Face It?
I do. I swear high ping is an advantage online. That's why online CS is so different as well.
They just jiggle ping, you don't even see them ping.
And you're dead. That's it. They're given an opportunity, and the server just can't keep up, they're just dead.
I mean, to be fair, it works in pros and cons of having high ping.
Yeah, of course.
But we're just talking about the disadvantages of it.
Of course. We're done talking about that. We are at LAN, so Horus, they're going to show up here on that second map, but okay. Surreal trades them right back. 1 kill for each of those Horus members. So that is long control now given up to 7.2. There are smokes available for them to get these players into pit. They could even smoke the cross as well, but they don't have a second one. You're seeing more and more teams start to throw 2 smokes just to make sure there's no gap, just because that gap is a little bit wider as well as the grooves on that part of the ramp. But Surreal takes down MBL as he looked to try and get some information. Shaney will be smoked off, but look at this, how big this gap is. He can maybe capitalize off it, but as the bomb crosses, he unfortunately does not.
Bomb being planted, 2 on 3, and finally an opening that the T's can work with. Shaney pushing through the smoke with an AWP. Interesting. Shaney finds the first. Tries to jump up for the second. Can't find it, but he knows where the other is. Luz are going to be able to take him down with the AK towards long. And now it's all up to Pommy left. 1 on 2. Flash coming in. And this is such a difficult hold, especially in the situation he is. Time running down low. Pommy not finding anything. That's another flash.
Ooh.
The wide peak and Cryptics to find it. 9-13. Wonder whether we're going to see a little bit of a comeback come out from the T side.
The flash was perfect there at the end as well. Yeah, that was really well played from 7.2 to deal with that with the equipment they had available. So, like you said, maybe there's a comeback on the horizon here for 7.2. Maybe they start to bring this closer and closer. Obviously, it's only a 4-round discrepancy, but coming into the half, it was 8-7, so it was a close affair. Some distance built up by Horus in this endeavor. But Horus, they won't fight for long control this time. They'll allow 7.2 that space, instead taking short as a position and even going for that boost so they can maybe spot out Surreal, who was located in those tunnels. But he will not peek them. He won't give them that chance.
7.2 and below. Getting control of long. Finwee with the AWP in towards the A-bomb site. Looking down the scope of this long area. The HE coming out. That should do a lot of damage. So far, so much damage being done by that HE, but it's going to be Luzza fighting 2 with the AWP. Shaney answering back. MBL pushing through the smoke, instantly taken out, and now it's a 4-on-2. The T's coming alive in the last 2 rounds.
Shaney and Pommy just trying to secure an exit here. 7.2 have full reign of that bomb site. There is no kit on either of these players. There may be one recoverable, but as they try and get more and more kills, as they decide to leave, it seems like they will go 1 for 1, so they're able to trade things back. Finney even looking for more, trying to jump up top, and Mace will punish him. That's the ult out of the hands of Horus. And you look at their economy, you sort of question why they haven't fully fled from that site. They instead tried to take those fights, and it's cost them. They suddenly don't have these rifles to bring into the next round.
Well, they could have brought in 2.
Yeah.
And they decided to give it up to Hunt. So a very interesting play. I feel like the reason for that is they're 13 and 10 up at this point. They have a big lead. They just want to take as many rifles out of the hands of the teams as they can. And Surreal going to fall early. Flashes and the USPs coming down hard. But unfortunately...
Oh my god, they're backing away.
it's going to be hard to save that rifle, as I think they chucked it over the fence. But yeah, look, they are backering away and going in towards mid. It looks like it's going to be a mid to B split coming out. Shaney actually going to push. This could work out perfectly. Oh no.
No.
It looked good.
Yeah, there was certainly a chance, but Pommy still has a chance as well. They're going to try and jump through the window. He will get one for his troubles. That is still an AK at the disposal of Horus, so they can potentially commit for this, especially considering they can get a buy together in that next round. There's some pros to this approach, but I think it'll be catalyzed by whether Finwy gets a kill or not. If he finds one kill and goes untraded, that's why NBL's sort of lingering in middle. If he was able to get a kill fast enough, then they would have committed. But I think now that time is wound down a little bit too low, it's now completely out of the cards. And Finwy has been able to recover an AWP for himself. So this is basically what they could have saved last round into this round. Which is, you know, if they got 2 kills with those rifles, and then
Could have been different.
Yeah, it could have been a very.
They could have saved it again.
Obviously, Counter-Strike doesn't quite work like that. You can't just sort of like bring success from this round into the next round. Otherwise, I'd go 16-0 all the time.
Trust me, it works. Maybe not trust me.
I mean, yeah.
Believe in it.
The only way you get that level of consistency is if you're spinning. So, Horus, they are up to 13. 7.2 and below are only below by 2.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Point 2. No, not really. But now we come out towards long. And actually, CT's playing anti-flash at this point, and so far the T's already going to be forced out of bedroom. What a play coming out from Horus to allow them to go so far back. That's long control given up.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I think because 7.2 went uncontested last time, they didn't put quite as many bodies towards that position, and Horus are able to get there just because they have the significant spawn. Shaney taking down Surreal in middle. Suddenly that's a lot of pressure applied because they know that this player is up close. They want to be able to deal with him, and with that smoke coming through, it seems like he should be able to escape. 7.2 aren't likely to chase, but again, it's Ryback to push through that long house. Yeah,
and they're not going to expect this at all. Like, this could be such a big play. Lines up one, should find the second, but instantly traded. So well done. Shaney as well. The wild spray finally to finish things off. And now it's up to Maze towards short. And Shaney so close. Slicky finds one, and he's towards B, but he's got no more teammates, Michael.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the bomb, so he needs to go and recover that. There's obviously 3 players left alive for Horus, and they are isolated. So if he wins these gunfights, yeah, there it is. He gets the first one to Shaney. He can deploy some utility towards the spawn, but Finwy is able to dodge it. I thought he was going to use the smoke, but instead
I thought so as well. Yeah, that's what I would have done. I mean, I'm not Finwy. I mean, I'm not Slingy, my mistake. Yeah. But, mate, the play there, you get that short player, smoke comes out, flash comes out, go towards mid, isolate that, leave the person in CT.
Let's be honest, these guys are like 100 times better than both of us. So
no way.
Okay, I mean
maybe you, but
okay,
me, I'm like on par.
Okay. I'd like to see you put your money where your mouth is. Sliggy and Mace get entries into the round. Finwy will answer back with his AWP, but he peeks out a little too wide. Cryptic's there for the trade, and there is nobody on that A-bomb site. 7.2 can start making their way up, and Horus, they have to rely on Ryback to try and get these kills on the cross. There it is. That's the flick they needed to bring things a little bit closer, but they still hold the man advantage, 7.2, especially with themselves getting this post pass.
Sliggy getting taken down as well. This round actually becoming quite competitive. But the only problem is, look how far away Pommy is.
Yeah.
It's going to take him so long to at least group up with his teammate to go for this execution. So just by timing and positioning, I'd have to say this round is completely over for Horus. There's no way they can just retake. They
have
could
kids.
try and, they have kids, but wow, they're actually going for it. They're actually going for this. Maze in towards this goose position. Should be able to find a first as they're not really peaking at the moment. Cryptix with 1 and Cryptix with 2. A nice clutch coming out from him towards short, and 12-14. That's the economy shattered from the CTs. This is becoming as
very,
close
very
to
close.
I am as being on the skill level as them.
See ya.
Yeah. What are you gonna say?
Okay. I'll let it go.
All right. Thank you. Don't embarrass me anymore.
Oh. So 2 of these players have one of them's cross middle. He's been tagged. Shaney's also decided to cross middle. He's also been and NBL. Oh. So both of the 2 players that decide to play close, the Molotov is the one that finishes off because they both got tagged by the AWP.
And they're looking. They're like, look, it's not gonna spread, and it does. Yeah, they're trying to blow it out with their mics. A 2-on-3. Ryback is actually going to be able to pick up the AWP, but at the same time, the teams have put themselves in such a great position. No kits, an AWP and a MAC-10 save. So for Poppy, I'd like to see him maybe stay around here, try and find an exit kill, get that AWP out of the sight, as it's already in towards lower tons. But Poppy, he can stay here. I mean, he's got a MAC-10, got really nothing to lose at this point, and he doesn't have any armor either. So realistically, he might as well just try and find an exit kill. And I thought Cyril was going to go CT.
No, so I think really the job here for Pommy was 100% just to make sure these players don't push too far, and if he can recover a rifle, that's certainly something. Cryptix is going to die to the bomb, so yeah, he needs to find that kill just before that happens, because otherwise Pommy was going to be able to likely get away with a rifle.
Yeah.
But yeah, 7.2, they're only one round away now. Suddenly, like, this looked like Horus were going to bring it to map 3.
Yeah.
At the very start of this half especially, it looked pretty grim for 7.2. But they've sort of tightened up, and I think Horus, they're still using the same sort of approach into these rounds. We're still seeing sort of early long control taken by Horus at times, and then when Ryback can, when there's aggro either towards middle or short, he's deciding to push that long house, where 7.2 haven't been holding for the majority of these rounds. And I think that was the one round where he did flank and he just immediately killed a player. Actually, could have been a lot cleaner, because if he'd waited and been a bit more patient, he maybe got 2 kills, because they were completely unsuspected, but he just didn't take that risk.
So far, it's going to be NBL to start things off, finding the first kill. And every kill at this point, Michael, is just going to be so important, because we're getting into the late stages of this second half, and really any kill can decide which way this map's going to go, as the T's are actually grouping up towards B. They need to be careful here, as they are in a man disadvantage, but so far it doesn't look like they're going anywhere else on towards the map. I mean, we got Lazza over towards your short area, but other than that, they're grouped up towards these upper tons.
Yeah, so Lazza's going to try and deploy some utility over towards that A bomb site, try and cause a rotation. Meanwhile, 7.2 are going to go towards this B bomb site. This is a strict play coming out, and they're going to be able to capitalize. They get both the entries on the site, and that's all credit to Lazza really selling that fake with all the utility as well.
Yeah, what a play coming out from Lazza, doing so much, and he's lurking in mid at the moment.
Yeah.
This could catch off the rotations. The CTs, they're not even going for it.
Yeah.
This round is all up to Lazza. He's able to get that little bit of a rotation. We saw that player towards B. I can't remember who it was. It was either Shaney or Pommy, but they were sort of in the B doors, and they were sort of like, do we go, do we stay? They weren't really sure, because Lazza was pulling a bit of a fake towards short. That allows 7.2 and the 2 entry kills.
Yeah, of course. Those are crucial to making the plan work. But it's very well timed from 7.2 to execute that in that fashion. The fact that they're beginning that lurk out, meanwhile those grenades are flying through, it really threw Horus out, because the coal comes out, suddenly they start to reconsider, like, oh, we haven't seen anybody. Then that's what causes that player to get coal in transition like that towards those B doors. They've tied things up here at 7.2. It was looking very, very dire to start off the second half, but they've somehow been able to fight back, and Horus, they've let the lead slip. This is where things get really, really dicey, though. A lot of these players don't have too much residual economy to sort of fall back on going into the last round of the half. We're guaranteed to go to 30. It's about whether we go into overtime or not in the second map.
Let's see what happens. Horus on a little bit of a shaky buy on Shaney and Pommy. We've only got 2 deagles, but other than that, that's all we've got. And 14 to 14, so no matter which way this goes, we are going to go the distance of 30 rounds. But this is just so crucial for both teams. Realistically, whoever wins this round wins the game.
This is the first time that Horus have boosted a player up on this box as well. So if 7.2 do decide to go for some sort of a B split, obviously it would be pretty advantageous in the fact that there's only 1 player on that B bomb site. But if Pommy gets a few kills over the box here and goes unchecked, then things get extremely difficult for 7.2 to be able to sort of capitalize that and be able to go towards that bomb site, because it's you're sort of seeing a reaction here as well. 7.2 aren't going to bring the bomb into middle. So occasionally you'll see a team make that mistake, but things go from bad to worse very quickly in Pommy's position. This is actually crucial. If he comes away with 2 frags here, this is the round pretty much over here for 7.2.
Yeah.
But they're backing away.
Yeah, this is really interesting, because, like you said, that position could have been amazing. But Ryback, he gets towards top mid. This round is completely over from 7.2 and below. How have they made this happen? Only 2 players remaining, and there's 5 CTs alive. Cryptic's able to find 1, but with him at low HP, they need to try and get in towards mid. That's a nice shot on Pommy. But it's going to be Luzza to trade. A 1v3 and he can't get anything done. Match point going over to Horus eSports, and for Horus, this is... They could win it here and there because the buy from 7.2 and below, it's going to be weak. We have a Galil coming out in the last round.
Yeah, Surreal down to a Deagle as well.
Wow.
So
this is rough.
Yeah,
very rough.
This is really going to come down to individuals hitting their shots. Surreal there very, very early. He's going to be the only player with a Deagle in hand, and they're going to come out on top in the exchange so far. Horus finding those first 2 picks. Shaney going to Molotov Surreal out of position. Surreal able to get the kill, and Shaney's dropped as well. Surreal gets 2.
We could actually go to overtime here. MR3 10K could be the next big thing in this game. As Pommy in towards ramp at the moment. And Finwee in towards these lower tons mid-area. And Surreal to find 2 kills on the entry coming out along. Huge play from him. And this really could be anyone's game, Michael.
Yeah, you can see Finwee. He's trying to get some information here for Horus. If he is able to find that player... Oh. If he kept pushing all the way towards the tunnels, I think as well 7.2 were somewhat they had the idea that it was a possibility, and that's why they went to check. But with Pommy making it towards the bomb site and Finwee not really establishing too much control for himself, like he's still holding back on short when he could very easily be holding the cross as well with his teammate. This is looking like 7.2 might be able to walk away with this one.
Oh my god, a player just dropped out. Oh my god, Surreal just dropped
no.
out alive. Oh my god, this could be it. Now it's a 2-on-2. Luzza, such an important kill, and it's a 1v1. Luzza up against Finwee. And oh my god, I could not believe what we're witnessing. A DC coming out from Surreal. This could have been a 2v1. Luzza, he needs to win this battle to keep the hopes alive, bring it into overtime. And Luzza making his way. Luzza, oh, he gets the tag. 20 HP onto Finwee. And Luzza, he's falling back to the CT crossover. He's got the incendiary grenade in hand. And Finwee, this really, who hits the shot first with the AWP? Luzza.
Oh, no.
Both of them are on rifles now. The smoke coming out. Luzza, when is he going to peek? Oh my god, what is happening right now? Luzza. Oh my god, overtime.
God.
Surreal dropped out. Surreal DC'd.
And they still win it back as well. That is unreal. That for that to happen on LAN as well. In the last round of the second map, and best of 3. This is... It doesn't get much better than
There's
that.
a lot of players
there's
watching over at the moment. So I would say over there is where the game is happening. Because there is a lot of players with hands on heads and a lot of players looking over other people's screens. So this really could be them over. I can't believe that.
I mean, that is actually ridiculous that he even.
Can you imagine if he lost? Can you imagine what would happen there?
Oh yeah, it would be a huge outcry. I mean, it depends what happens as well, right? Like CS could have crashed for all we know, right?
You have no idea.
Yeah.
We have to find out. Like. The thing is realistically, they can't ask for that round to be redone because damage has been done.
Far too much damage as well.
But at the same time, they could have come to a gentleman's agreement and said, we'll replay the round. I cannot believe that just happened. Round 30, in a 2v1, and he DCs.
Yeah.
I've never seen that, ever. What's happening now? It's got to be a pause. Look,
yeah, I assume so.
I can hear people typing in the chat. People are, it's got to be a pause.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
I feel like somebody is disconnected again for whatever. Yeah, it's like Surreal is just chilling out, having a good time.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, a bit unsure what's going on, just because throughout this best of 3, we've had 3 disconnects now.
Yeah. It could be his computer, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like.
So the round's going to be match medic. I think it might have something to do with the money as well. I mean, Surreal...
10K.
Yeah, but I think Surreal didn't buy anything. And because he rejoined into the overtime, I think he had the money from before
from the
overtime.
last round. Right, okay. So match medic coming out? I love match medic. It's the best. Like, if that didn't exist, I don't know what would happen.
Oh, so many games would get cancelled. It's unreal. or just fully replayed.
Yeah.
Be like, so do you remember how many kills you got in this round? I need you to simulate that. I actually had to watch a demo back once, where the first 9 rounds were completely replayed with every single kill because they couldn't get match medic to work.
Oh no.
So
I couldn't imagine that. Could not imagine that.
Oh yeah, it was fun to watch. I mean, not really, because you'd be like, oh my god, this guy got a 4K, but you didn't understand how. straight to the first round of overtime. Oh my god, look how far Surreal's got. He's been able to bypass that player in pit. He goes 1 for 1 as he's the only player progressed out. MBL gets caught out, but I don't think they spotted him. How is he still in the pit? And they have no idea. Oh my god, he springs out. He doesn't line up the kill. The flash is good at least to be able to secure him one. He could have doubled down, but Cryptix is there for the trade.
I feel like any day
I'm losing my mental.
Gets two there.
Yeah,
any day he gets two there, but I don't know what happened there.
I'm surprised 7.2 didn't even check the pit. The fact that Surreal has gone straight through the smoke, they have to know that's a possibility because he's not looking for that.
Yeah. And 7.2 and below, long control gathered, an AWP onto Lazar, and 2 AKs to use. Making their way in towards this A bomb site. It's going to be Shaney on towards the elbow position we were talking about earlier. But Shaney with the AWP needs to try and connect first, and there it is. Shaney, nice flick on the first. Well, it wasn't really a flick, it just held the angle. But a nice shot nevertheless. And Shaney, he looks to get more. Shaney can't get any more, instantly traded out by Slinky. Oh my god, Lazar! What? What are these players? I actually don't know what's happening right now.
Oh my goodness. Both of these players are very low. Finwee has the AWP, and with the Molotov, now he's going to be separated, and Lazar's going to hit the shot. 7.2, they've been really brought back as well into this game by some of these AWP plays. It has either been Sliggy or Lazar to get some of these really high-impact frags, but Cryptix is still far and away the highest fragging player on the server. 34 kills, 18 deaths.
Wow. He's come up huge.
Yeah.
Big play from him.
As far as I'm aware, free agent, by the way.
Hashtag free agent.
As far as I'm aware, he could be playing for a team, but they're not in advanced or EPS or so. Yeah. Unless he's on pensioners, but I don't know who's on pensioners. I should really know.
You should know. You're the expert here.
I'm supposed to be. Lord knows that's the wrong title to give me.
2 AWPs coming out from the T side. This has interested me because it's not often, maybe on the CT side, fair enough, but on the T side, and oh my god, NBL. This could be it. This actually could win the game. No, not win the game, win the round. Because if they're all at long at the moment, the chances are they're not watching flank.
Yeah, the problem is MBL, he knows how strong this position is. He's not going to fully flank off of it.
Yeah.
He's containing them at long, just making sure they can't double back. The 7.2, they're going to win the first gunfight. Trying to cheat past the smoke, Mace doubles down. He gets the bomb site completely under their control. Now MBL's going to pull the trigger, and Lazar's hurt him.
Yeah. It needed to be done earlier because Lazar, like you said, he heard him coming out of bedroom, running out, instantly traded, 5v2. And the thing is with MR3 10K is that CTs are actually going to struggle in the next round. Because look at their economy, it's going to be shattered. They are not going to be able to get their AWPs out to the next round, but Shady! Okay, mate. That's a nice shot with the AWP. Oh! Second as well, but look at that. We're not even going to see many rifles come out. I mean, Shane's not going to be able to afford a rifle. Finwee as well. And that's the thing. MR3 10K overtime. The risk is if you buy them AWPs up and you lose the first 2 rounds, the 3rd round CT side, you are done for.
Yeah. Yeah, they're missing out on a lot of its utility as well. They don't have Molotovs to potentially take the long tunnel. They're going to rely on these flashbangs to do a lot of work. A Molotov is deployed, but that's the only Molotov that they've had on that entire Horus lineup. So if there is any sort of another aggressive play here from some... Wow. Oh my goodness, Cryptix. Give him a chance there, bud.
I just can't believe how far this game has turned around.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like 13-7 at one point, I believe.
Oh my god, what is that from MBL? He lines all of them up on the cross. He's brought it to a 2-on-2.
But the only problem is here is look at the CTs. They're not even at this A bomb site. So Lazar, if he gets there quick enough and gets that bomb down there, I don't know if they know at this point, but Horus, they are nowhere near. That's the bomb gone as well. Sliggy in a 1v2, and if at any point he needs to step up, it's now, but it's not going to happen. The 16th round goes in favor of Horus, and 7.2 and below, it was a 2v5.
Yeah.
They should have won that. They should have won that.
99%
of the time, they should have won.
I cannot believe MBL has gone 4 kills when they're in a situation. Like, the smoke is about to bloom on the cross.
And he gets 3.
He sees them coming as well. Like, they're like clay pigeons in the air. He just decides to swat them out. And they just happen to be in line with every single one of those players that they tried to cross. That is unreal.
Double AWP setup coming out on the CT side. Lazar gonna miss that first and instantly fall back. There's long control gathered by the Ts and a lot of counter utility, but we do swap sides. As we now see 7.2 on towards the CT side. And that's what I love about overtime is you get a bit of both. You get a bit of the CT and a bit of the T as well.
It has been a while since 7.2 has been on the CT side.
Yeah.
Especially with Horus, the way that they've been playing on T, they quite often will spread out into this default. They'll start some map control and then sort of try and see how far 7.2 have pushed up. They're pretty cautious in how they approach these angles because they know as well that because this is MR310K, there are AWPs on the board. So there's a bit more direction, I think. 7.2 quite often secured control and they were just all sort of running around like sheep together, which is a bit odd to see, but it's brought them back into this game, and obviously it's worked to some success. But Horus, by far, were a bit more spread out, and that is some really awkward timing.
You hate to see it. Shaney hits that shot if he's holding.
Yeah.
But the timing, CSGO time, you can't do anything about it. Lazza, with the AWP towards CT, already spotted out one of the members, so he can give that information over as the T's make their way towards this A-bomb site. Bomb being planted any second now, but the Molotov is actually going to deny that plant. So that's more. Slingy drops the bomb as well. Oh my god, what a round. Another Molotov going in towards this A-bomb site. And this round,
time is of the essence as well. They've got less than 20 seconds to try and get this bomb planted. Now it will go down in the hands of MBL, but now they need to be ever conscious of this flank. That one player coming in from behind, it's Sliggy, and he finds two. It's suddenly MBL in the 1 versus 4. Needs to clutch things out, and he cannot do it. Horus on an extreme back foot. 7.2 just need one more round to close out this overtime.
And look, we spoke about Sliggy not underperforming, but performing at the same level consistently. He got a 4K in that round.
Yeah.
Huge, huge kill. He got, I believe he got the first kill getting aggressive towards short. I don't know where the second kill is, but then he gets 2 at the end there. Sliggy.
Yeah, those are extremely high impact.
High. And look, it seals the round. Seals the round completely. And this really could be 19-16. Like, there's 2 match points coming out from 7.2 and below.
Horus eSports, this is the second map of the best of 3. 7.2 took the first, but Horus, they're still trying to fight for their lives. Shaney does take the first player in Mace. I mean, this is the upper bracket as far as I'm aware. So, despite a loss here, that would mean that Horus go down to the lower bracket. So, there's still chances to come back as far as we know. But 7.2, they're looking to take the series 2-0. Not going to start the round off too well, however, going down to that AWP earlier on. But now with Horus, with that man advantage, Shaney's going to get the second. Cryptix is positioned. If he's able to get 2 from this spot, it becomes somewhat of a winnable position. But Horus are going to look to try and take that B-bomb site. The split comes through. Sliggy gets... Cryptix gets both.
I saw the vision of him getting another.
Yeah, I was concerned as well. Sliggy, though, he's in the 1 versus 3. He's hovering in midair.
He's got to clutch this, surely.
This is going to be a really rough one to take. Like we'd mentioned earlier, the B-bomb site very hard to retake, and even more so alone, especially when Horus have the numbers advanced. Oh, he's getting past the smoke. He gets the kill into Ryback. The Molotov just in front of the doors will prevent him from pushing forward, and actually he goes through the window and he hits the floor. Horus, one more round to bring it to overtime number 2. 7.2 and below. Do they end the series 2-0? Do we go to the second overtime? Look, I mean, I don't even know how many overtime games we've had at the LAN event so far.
I don't think we've had one yet. From looking at the score, I don't know if we have. This has been such a close affair on Dust 2. I was a little bit different on Mirage, but Dust 2 is a different story, a different kettle of fish.
A lot of emphasis over towards the B tunnels in this round. No presence long, very minimal amounts of presence in mid that will now be rectified from Horus. They'll retake that position, just make sure that 7.2 haven't pushed all the way up, but this is that boost that Pommy was on that could have changed the round entirely if they went for this B split. And Horus, they look like they're committing this time. Mace has the cards all on his lap. He even has extra ones, just a few extra aces up his sleeve. Gets the first onto Pommy, able to duck below it. Oh, Ryback, he just spots the head. He's going to be able to find that kill as well. Oh, there's so much damage. There's the second kill. Lazza chimes in as well. Cryptix finds the kill onto MBL in the 1-on-5. Shaney cannot clutch it out. And that will be 7.2 winning our first best of 3 of Epic LAN in a 2-0 fashion.